Welcome back to the pod. We've got a special guest today, Peter Giles. Welcome, Peter.
Well, how's it going, boys?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. So you're a risk assurance advisor. Talk to us about that. What do you actually do?
So what I do is I come in behind the mortgage brokers. Obviously, they've put the finance in place, and I look at the risk about that, secure that with putting life cover, trauma cover, disability cover to create a bit of certainty for those people with that debt.
Yeah, we've had Adele on the pod before who's talked about the mortgage side of things. Are you part of that company? Sit in there, work together. She sets up the mortgage. You make sure people have the right insurance and protection in place.
Yeah, totally. And to be fair, you know, Kiwis are sort of the number 8 wire. She'll be right, but being in the business for 6 years now, you've seen a few claims that go through, or people that haven't got cover, or you hear of that, and it can be quite devastating for those people that have got big mortgages, or have been crook and haven't been able to come up with the mortgage payments or their obligations around mortgage.
It's basically getting a mortgage solely relies on one or two people being able to produce an income that is never completely safe from the environments. We've been through different things recently, global lockdowns and things that can wipe out jobs in an instant. And you've got your family set up and you want to be there for 20 years, and then something happens, or something happens with your health unexpectedly, burnout, all these sorts of things that can happen. Your job is to protect people from that, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. So, and there's a whole lot of different circumstances around that and getting that cover. Like obviously, life cover is really about debt and dependence. So it's about having a little bit of cover there to secure that mortgage for if one of those people passed away, and have that paid off. But then also looking after if there's kids involved, looking after maybe some income for the person that's still around to move on, or have a bit of space to make decisions.
I was going to say, and be able to look after the children.
Totally.
Because if say for example there was a single income family and that person got ill or unfortunately passed away, then you end up with a one parent left, say with 2 or 3 children, with no income coming in.
Yeah, devastating.
Absolutely devastating. So and that one, or that lone parent now is really up against it. But if both from a emotional point of view, but also from a financial point of view, where if the right cover's in place, which you can put in place, then everyone's protected. So if something unforeseen does happen, there's security for the whole family, not just worrying about the one person. You got to look after everybody,
and it's just creating certainty, and it's got to be fit for purpose. It's not about a quick rich scheme to if something bad happens that you've got a lot of money coming in or income coming in. It's about getting through that time where someone is ill or someone's crook, and it's about having the ability to get through that period of time, get you back on your feet again, get you back working, and not affecting maybe savings and
all the work you've done previously gone.
You hear horror stories. Unfortunately, you hear horror stories of people that aren't insured. So just run through what the different forms of insurance. I mean, we've briefly talked about it, but just run through in a bit more depth, maybe, from the income protection, if you like, or the mortgage protection to the life stuff. Just run us through. What's involved for people to be able to come and see you, get an assessment done, and then what services do you offer on that?
Yeah, so it's a process, obviously, and obviously once the mortgage has gone in and it's alive and the house is sold, my job really is to go in, look at and do a fact find, gather some information off the clients, and then go away, formulate a quote and a statement of advice to go with that, and then obviously come back and present it. Quite hands-on, so once clients are in that sort of framework, then we go through different scenarios and quite involved discussions about,
which is good.
Yeah, bringing stuff up that probably people haven't done before.
Yep.
You know, and what would you do if this happened or this scenario happened?
So it's all face-to-face stuff. It's not just chuck an email out stuff.
No.
You're a face-to-face man.
Face-to-face, yeah. And obviously look at different scenarios. But so life cover obviously is for debt and dependence.
Yep.
We have another cover, trauma cover, which is a lump sum payment that big things happen, like the cancers and the strokes and the
car accident.
Massive loss of limb, things like that. So
heart attack in that one?
Yes, heart attack and that. Yeah, totally.
Don't look at me like that.
The smile.
I've lost weight,
you brought that up pretty quick. And then you have your range of disability covers where you have income protection, and then you also can look at mortgage repayment cover.
Right.
So if you're ill, obviously, and after 4 weeks, depending on what time frame until you get better, but your mortgage obligations are taken care of. So
a lot of people don't have that.
A lot of people don't have that. No,
and
some people have it, but and obviously it's not really fit for purpose.
They just continually renew.
You just renew it and don't revise it. I mean,
don't review it, and that's crucial because I
would say
things change, circumstances change,
especially what's happening in the world these days. And what I was going to say is, you go back over the last 5 years. When the interest rates were really low, and now they've slowly increased to where they're high, and hopefully we're seeing them turn.
Yes.
But ultimately, back when the peak market, if we talk real estate for a bit, people were getting crazy high mortgages. We're talking, we'll go and buy a $1.1 million home and have $1 million mortgage.
Yes,
because you could.
Yes,
because the money was cheap.
Yeah, totally.
Now that the interest rates changed, they got huge repayments going on, and if they're not insured, what's going to happen there? They're going to lose everything, aren't they?
And the thing is, I've watched a few of your pods and things, and they're brilliant, by the way. But like,
it's greasing.
You talk about assets and obviously what your biggest assets, and you boys bring it up quite a bit about your house being your biggest asset.
Yeah.
Then you might have a car, and some people are lucky enough to have a boat. But they are all insured. But if you have a look at an individual, say, for example, he's 40 and he's got 25 years of living and he might be on $100,000. Well, that's $2.5 million. And for a lot of people, they don't insure that. It's
which is crazy when you think about it.
And
insure the boat for $30,000, but you won't insure your income.
Yeah, exactly. And that's important. And at times where you do see clients or you go and do reviews and you've just really got to bundle it up and have a good look at it and ask some questions because, as I said, things change. Equity in your house, you may have paid quite a bit more off your mortgage, so you might not need as much life cover. You might not. Your salary might have gone up, so you need to secure that. So we do that for you. So.
And I think it's probably important for people to realise that it's not just about selling you a policy and then see you later. It's that you're a relationship. The same as we talked about with Adele, with mortgages. It's not just about selling you something. It's building a relationship at the start and then those regular check-ins and going, a year later, I don't know how often you would check in, but say a year later you go, what's your situation now? Our income's increased dramatically. Well, we need to cover that. So it's totally,
Callum. And that's, we send out an anniversary letter to say, look, has things changed in your lives? You might have won lotto and you might need life cover, for example.
Or you might need more.
Or you might need more. Or you might have bought another house that is up a couple more dollars and you might need to secure that. So we take all those into consideration and do it in such a way that it's hands-on and personal.
So currently we're offering personal insurance, both life, mortgage cover, risk, trauma, all those sort of personal insurance.
Yes.
Currently not doing house insurance.
No,
but looking into that.
Understand, Obviously, we're having discussions around that because it's an important part. Being in Nelson, weather events have changed a few things.
Absolutely.
areas where maybe tide's getting a little higher. So that needs to be tick the box and needs to be sorted out.
I think that just then would make the mortgage money company very holistic, wouldn't it? You'd have everything, from your getting your mortgage to then being able to insure your house, but also then insure you personally and, from your income side of things. So,
and also front footing, say for our industry where you've got a house that you're marketing, and being able to prove to the buyers that it's going to be insured, because it's no longer just good saying, oh, well, the vendor's got insurance, and we can even give them the company will still start a new policy, and in some examples actually turn them down on the, so it's actually going and being able to show potential purchaser that they can get insurance, because we've had it before where everything else gets ticked off, then they go get the insurance. They can't get it from the one that their one stop place that they went to, and then they give up because you can't get a mortgage without insurance. So it's very important. It'd
be great if the team can get that together.
And we've had a lot of compliance in the last couple of years too with level 5s and getting
furthering your education,
up speaking. So and there is there's ways we've got to follow some.
It's just like us, isn't it? Just the law and legalities and legislation.
Yep,
so you just got to make sure you're compliant and do things properly.
Totally.
Yeah.
Nelson's the other thing we do is a little bit on self-employed people. Key persons seems to be a lot of self-employed people in Nelson, whether tradesmen or whatever. We do a disability cover in there too, a loss of revenue, key person. And we can work a little bit around ACC structures to maybe save them even some dollars on what they're what they're paying in ACC levies. So,
which is crazy when you think about it. You can come and see you and get an assessment.
You just transfer the money you're spending over to here and get better
cover.
Help
to fund a business cover that's that's an agreed value that stops any worries about at claim time. Is maybe cheaper than what you already pay in ACC levies, depending on your job category. So
So there's a wide range of things there, mate.
There is.
Wide range of things.
Range of things.
I think ultimately, if there's people watching or listening to the pod, and they have a mortgage and they're not insured, all right, or they're looking to get a new home and they're maybe even being pre-approved, they can come and see you to start with and look at their personal situation and then forecast what their mortgage is going to be. I mean, the reality is, the way the world is now and the society we live in, that 90% or more people should be looking at being insured, because who knows what's going to be around the corner. So you need to have some cover in place to make sure both yourself and your family and your dependents are looked after. So people listening, if you haven't got insurance in place, give Peter Giles a call. Mortgage Money. If you can't
nice guy.
Thank you. Look at his smile. Nice guy. Thanks, boys. So look, he does a great job. Very personable, face to face, not just behind a computer screen. Come and see Pete. He'll look after you from your insurance. Make sure you're covered, and you can sleep easy.
Create a bit of certainty.
That's it. Create certainty.
That's what we do.
Nice, Pete. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Peter.
No, thank you, guys.